crop research. What do you make of that announcement, those comments that he shared?
Yes, it's true. If you look at the data, prices of food, especially as you said at the farm gate, has come down. And so for example, rice, there's a lot of rice at the farm gate. It's also because the farmers got very good yields, and then there's a lot of imports in the system.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of glut both for rice and maize, which are two major crops. In the markets, Ejura, and many of the other farm gates is there. So it's part of the reason why the prices, especially at the farm gate, are lower now. But even in the urban markets, even though we are not getting the full effect, it is still better than a few months ago.
So you don't agree with people who are saying that? So, for example, before he might have bought for 15 cedis and he would have been okay, but now he has to buy 20 cedis or 25 cedis. He would not agree with what you're saying.
Well, many other factors come in,
such as
and sometimes so for instance, the rice that I mentioned, I know that on the market a few months ago, the 25 kg of local rice it used to be close to 600 Ghana cedis. Okay. Now you can get it at Nobuem and many of the other marketers at 400.
From 600, it's now 400.
To 400, and it's still coming down. So some of the things that they mention also come in, that people are profiteering. Yeah. So it has
because we saw a video as well where some traders who farm rice were also complaining bitterly that they have a lot of rice yield.
Exactly.
They're not having a market for it.
Yeah.
But yet these same rice, the local rice as you mentioned, if they should find their way to our markets, then the price will still be that high. But I'm happy that you're saying that, for example, the local rice hitherto was 600 Ghana cedis. It's now 400 Ghana cedis. This 400 Ghana cedis, are you talking about the markets here in the cities or at the farm gates?
In the cities, I mean, yeah.
So a lot of people have raised concerns and have given their own thoughts as to why they think that when you go to the farm gates, the crops or the food is cheaper there.
Yeah.
We've had poor road networks.
Exactly.
We've had fuel costs.
Yeah.
We've had queen mothers who control these prices.
Yes, so I was coming to the broader picture.
Yes, and then we've also heard about the middlemen.
Yes.
Run us through them.
Yes, so even though on the specific things that I mentioned earlier, I feel that prices have started coming down on the market. But on the broader scale, yes, the buffer stock system must work. It already exists in Ghana. So buffer stock system, transport, cottage industry, processing, which she's an expert on. She's an expert on.
And she'll speak to shortly.
And then information. There are groups like Isoko and things that are giving for. So all those things have to work well for us to have the rare impact of the.
When is it? It has to work well. What do you mean by that?
Well, so for instance, the buffer stock yesterday has issued a statement. The minister, they say they have a board. They attended a meeting, and now they say they should go to the farm gate and, for instance, buy from the farm at a minimum. Yes, but so when I say you should work well, it doesn't have to come to a point where people are on social media shouting before that action is taken. An MP has to go and see his meet some farmers on the roadside. The system has to find a way of.
What are the bottlenecks or the challenges in there that prevents the system from automatically working smoothly without?
David, it's the usual Ghana issue. I hear Eugene shout about it every morning. Yeah, we put in the system, but something about the implementation, mainly human factor and interest and all that.
So this is buffer stock thing you're talking about that we should allow it to work well. Where you talk about the fact that they held a meeting, and we know that the agreement says they are voting some 100 million, Ghana cedis, so that they can buy these produce from the farmers and all that. Are they going to buy them and bring it to the markets and sell it to us at a cheaper cost, or they're going to buy them and go store them in in some warehouse?
Yeah, so the buffer stock is mainly about when there's surplus in the system. Then they will store it, and when we need it, they release it, which is very important, because even though we talk about cheaper food prices, the farmers must also break even.
Yeah.
So they continue to be farming. Exactly. Otherwise, we'll go through a cycle where the food prices will.
But my concern, Prof, my concern is, as we speak currently, we have abundant food available.
Yes.
And we're being told that we're going to have a bumper harvest this year. As we speak, we're being told that there are surpluses, and that's how come the buffer stock is coming in.
Yeah.
But how do we, how do we benefit directly? Because here the buffer stock are just going to stock up. So when the lean season comes or the food items are not available, then they make it available on the market.
Yes, it makes.
But before, how do we enjoy the cheaper, less expensive items now? What would it take?
Well, so for that, I think the biggest factor, if you speak to the farmers is the cost of transport in our roads. Yeah. So if we're able to sort that out, I think it will go a long way for us to feel it when they are price. When we have prices lowering at the
but can't the government find a way and say, okay, right now my people, the farmers have done a good job. We have very good yields.
Yeah.
And my people are still complaining that, okay, so the food items, when they hit the market, are expensive as compared to when you buy from the farm or the farm gates and all that. Can government find ways where they can make these food items on the market cheap so we can enjoy and not complain, rather than say we're buying to stock up for later?
Well, David, for me, that really will not be sustainable. The best way is the buffer system that we are dealing with at the moment.
Are you saying there's no way? There's no way we can control these middlemen and prevent them from doing what it is that they are doing? Are you saying that there's no way we can handle or manage the queen mothers to prevent them from what they would? Aside from the fact that we need to have very good roads and very good, fuel prices and all that. These people who are creating the problems, the middle people, the queen mothers, can we find ways and means of controlling?
I would agree with you on that. That there could be some regulations for the middlemen and aggregators and others, so that they don't do the profiteering that I mentioned earlier on.
Eugene has a question, but I have one more question on this buffer stock things. Because to a large extent, what I realized, and I think maybe Fosena will take that one for me, what I realized they do is they stock up the grains. How about the perishables? Because if tomato is in season and it's cheaper, but can get rotten within 3 days or 4 days, how do we stock up for tomatoes so that in the lean season we can still enjoy good tomatoes, good onions, good okra?
Thank you very much, David. In fact, with the chain or the price, it's a whole system, because as the price is high, it has its own effect both on the farmer, the consumer, as well as the marketer. So what the nation needs to do to solve this very well is introduction of standardization.
Okay.
If we are to have standard price, just like we have for commodities like cocoa. Cocoa price are the same everywhere. So if we have the buffer stock controlling the system, we know that maybe a kilo of rice, but looking at our system, we use other measuring system to measure it, which is not standardized. So anybody can sit anywhere and do whatever the person like. We know that anybody can just heap some tomato quantities and say that this is going for this or that. If there is a standard and a common price, I think that problem will be reduced and farmers will gain as well as everybody. And you were talking about the perishables. What do we do? There is a need to train the farmers on when to harvest and where to take it. And if we do that, it will help to prolong the shelf life of these highly perishable commodities. So if they are in abundance, there are other systems that we can channel it.
Such as, because when I was reading yesterday, I think it came about hematic bags silos and other things that, if made available for the farmer, for example, it could help in the preservation of these food crops.
Of the
So that,
grains.
because many a time they are scared that if I hoard up and I don't sell, the thing might perish,
Sure.
and I might lose money. So why don't I just give it to those middlemen or queen mothers, so I make my money and don't get the crops getting spoiled. But if you have these hematic bags available, or ways and means by
Mainly
which
for
they
the grains.
say again.
The hematic bag
Hematic
is mainly for the
bags.
grains.
So
for the grains.
fine. So to help them stock up, at least they can control the market. Are we giving the farmers education?
I think the best way for Ghana to get to the food security level is by educating the farmers on simple post-harvest management.
Are we doing that?
I would say in some way we are doing it, and there is a need to do more. Because when post-harvest is being addressed very well, we can reduce a number of losses along all the chain.